Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Behind the Group podcast. I am DJ Keo.
And I am Basil Barrington, and we are back with something a little different and a bit more interesting than things we have watched.
Mm.
We are talking about, well, what we're going to do is we're going to review and just talk about a short film we saw. It is called The Wizard of AI. This is by Alan Warburton. And this is
Mm.
a short film about AI created by AI. At least 95% of it was created by
Yeah,
AI. You know,
the visuals is stunning
the,
and
the
scary at the same time.
and
I'll put it like that.
you know I don't know. I was reading up on a lot of this stuff, and I was just like, I don't know if he created this because he was sort of afraid of what Midjourney version 4 was all about, or he was just
Mm.
being creative like he was. Like, I mean, he was really like the short film was really about like, you know,
Yeah,
Midjourney V4, right?
yeah. Well, he's explaining what the future is holding, what the past is doing, and there's two camps for this. There's the we're scared, you got to turn this thing off right now,
Yeah.
and the other people that are like, yo, this is great stuff. We should need to go faster and harder. So the way the two camps go, two camps are everything current right now is awesome. Forget about long term what this is going to do to us.
Mhm.
And then the this is negative side is long term. This is bad for society. We're all going to die. That's the attitude. Is like this is horrible. We got to turn this thing off right now because of the future.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because people haven't had these talks before. This is new. Everything's new.
I think the other thing is like he really pounded the point that, you know, with this Midjourney V4 and then stable diffusion and just all these things that you can
Hmm.
sort of connect to like create, to be creative, to create art, right? He's like basically
Yeah.
saying like, so what does that do to just like artists in terms of where they are today? Does this like new version of technology using AI, does it mean that like these artists that were doing things the old school way, are they going to go away or are they going to adapt? And I was saying to you,
Hmm.
offline, it's sort of like the same debate we had about the DJ purist and the technology that these companies were
Hmm.
creating for us when it came to DJing. It's just like, well, wait a minute, you still want me to use two turntables, a mixer, and vinyl when like
Hmm.
I can use this
Yeah,
digital
CDJs are
stuff?
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
It's just
yeah.
like, come on. It's like, no. It's just like we have to, as creatives, we have to evolve with the technology. And I understand the 2 points he was like really making. It's just like, well, is this going to hurt us or is this going to help us? I mean, where do you
There's
fall
no
in terms
telling.
of, right? Where do you fall in terms of like AI and creativity? I mean, is it something we should
I
embrace or, maybe just take, just slow down a little bit on it?
I'm in the middle of this because I
Mhm.
I love future tech, like
Yeah.
the cyberpunk stuff. I love all that, the concepts, the ideas, all that stuff. But also, I'm a realist, and we kind of should be concerned about some of it. There should be limits, and you got to be concerned about what happens if the government has to step in and say this is the rules if you're going to use this stuff for the future. Like you don't want to have like some kind of card that you got to log in or pay for that says now you can use AI or you got to take a test before you like. These are things that could happen depending on how this stuff goes in the next future and in the next couple of years. Because we have to worry about deep fakes. We got to worry about the election coming up. There's a
Right.
lot of stuff that
Mhm.
could put a black eye on the idea of AI, like a real bad black eye on the idea of AI
Excuse me. Mhm.
very soon. I would say 2024 could be a game changer for AI, especially because of the election and deep fakes and all this other stuff. So, I mean, the ideas of what could happen are scary, but interesting and cool. So I'm somewhere in the middle. Like I love technology and I like to see stuff get advanced, but like, what do you need a camera for? Unless you're detailing an event. Like, what do you need a camera for? Like, it's not. You can just get a picture of a sunset in Tuscany. It's easy.
Yeah.
AI would do it with the same thing. You wouldn't even know.
Well,
You know.
it's almost like it was you have these travel vlogs, these influencers who go out to,
Mhm.
these different countries and
Yes.
posting all these pictures, and come to find out a lot of them were not going to these countries. They were just,
Yep.
photoshopping a joint. Adobe Photoshop has gotten really good. It uses AI now, right? And it's
Yeah.
just like, hey, you're on a beach in a bikini, like in Brazil. And it's like, no, you're just like, this is a green screen. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, so people
Mhm.
found out because although the technology is evolving, right? The technology to detect if it's actually real or fake is also evolving. So I think the
Mhm.
the counterbalance for me is, like you said, I'm all down for like technology and the evolution of it, right? I'm even
Mhm.
okay with Keo, and I don't know if you agree with me on this, but I'm even okay with like how the military may use AI to protect the country, right? I don't know about all this
Yeah, yeah.
other stuff, but I mean, when we were watching Picard and they were talking about synchronistic technology, how all these like different, like how the
Yeah, yeah.
ships, sort of speak to each other. What the military was trying to do is they were trying to create this synchronistic technology with drones, right?
Mhm.
And so I'm like, well, that's gonna, if that's gonna help us in a war or something like that, or protect the country, that's fine. When it comes to AI and creativity, I think a lot of creative people, specifically maybe writers and maybe even like fine artists and things like that, they sort of get up in arms. It's almost like the writer's strike. They were saying, no, you can't use AI. And it's just like, no, you want AI, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's better writing than what's going on currently, but, like, the
Yeah.
fear is always that if the AI takes over, then entertainment's gonna die. And I mean, entertainment's been trash for a couple years now because, people are they're forcing in, how can I say this? The silly things that don't matter about life. And we're putting in, pushing in, you have to have two indigenous people, you have to have two whatever. Like, this kind of stuff takes away from the art form. And, like, I appreciate, getting culture and stuff like that into shows and movies, whatever. But when you make that the focus rather than the movie, it's diminished the quality of life, right? And the AI is not going to think like that unless you program it to do that.
Right.
So the idea of AI is unlimited because you can do anything, you can think of anything. It's just you just need the prompts, really. And so I think that this could be a kick in the pants for the
Hmm.
film and TV,
Yeah.
and we could actually we'll get back to the renaissance of high quality TV and movies again. Like, there's potential benefits and negatives for all this stuff. Right now, I think there's a lot of positives, and it realistically just comes down to, how you do it, like how you integrate this stuff into your movies and TV shows, like just how. But the concepts are great, and what's available to us is insane, especially like animation,
Yeah.
3D
Wow.
effects. Like, there's so much stuff that you can do right now.
I mean,
So
yeah. Did you see the fantasy stuff that, this
yes.
short film was creating? I'm like, imagine looking at fantasy animation that was created by AI that's so vivid like that, and I'm
Hmm.
just like, wow. But when they talked about robots, they were like, robots are going to kill jobs, right? It's just like, robots will kill some jobs, no doubt, right? But it's also
Yeah,
going
but it's
to
gonna
create,
create all the new jobs
yeah,
too.
exactly. So it's just like you can't continue to be, this manual person when the
Mhm.
technology is here. You may have to like step up your sort of like training. I think with AI, yeah, AI, it's going to, some people are going to lose their jobs, right? But now you're
Mhm.
paying like prompt engineers $250,000 a year. You're getting 250
Yeah.
bands to be a prompt engineer. Come on.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, different things are gonna be affected by it. Like, I think we're at the point now where it's like the horse and buggy versus the car.
Hmm.
And fought as long as they could, but it was like the cars is better. And eventually the car took over and it's the greatest invention for a long time. But realistically, people fought the car for as long as they could and be like, horse is better, horse is better. It's better for environment, better for everything. I can park my horse here. Like that is faster than a car.
Right.
But eventually, cars took over, and it is the same thing right now, where the ideas are future tech. Everybody's scared of it because they're not used to it. And like, but to be fair though, there are things to be scared about as far as technology goes.
Yeah.
100%. And you got to be worried about what jobs get lost and why. Because you can take away all the jobs if you want to. Realistically, you can do a lot of stuff with AI right now. Like we're prompt AI, we're there. You don't
We're
need a
there.
lot of office jobs right now. You can
We're
get rid of them
there.
all right.
Do you use any right now, present day for you? Do you use any like AI chatbots or AI assistants?
I've messed around with it, but I haven't like
Mhm.
got fully into it. But like the stuff I've fooled around with, I'm like, oh, this is cool. But I'm trying to figure out how I can use it for me. But like I
Mhm.
have played around with it, and it's fascinating.
Yeah. The tools I use when it comes to AI are Chat GPT,
Yeah.
Claude AI, and also Google Bar, right? Barb or
Mhm.
Bard, right? And I use it for my website development because previously I was like, installing plugins into my WordPress
Yeah.
development to create functionality. But yo, with these AI assistants and chatbots, they create
Mhm.
code for you if your prompt is proper, right? It's just like
Yeah.
I want a plugin that's going to pull in Google reviews based on a business name, not the business ID, and I want that to
Yeah.
be, dropped into a content type using a short code. And it spits it out and
Mhm.
tells you where you should place the code and the files and everything, right?
Yeah, it is I say alarming and amazing at the same time what you're capable of doing and
Mm,
how easy it is. Because that's the part. Before, it's super complicated with what you want to do and how to do it. Now you type the proper sentence
yeah,
and we just wait a couple minutes, thing pops out and you're done. You're good to go.
yeah.
It's how easy it is.
I'll also say this too. And I said this to my wife. I was like, and I also said this to my boys. Since I started
Mhm.
using AI and I've gotten better using it, my
Mhm.
systems, my like standard operating procedures, dude, they've gotten so much better just because
Mhm.
AI has helped me sort of like focus on what I'm supposed to do and how I'm supposed to do it. So I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question, right? I have some questions here. Like, can generative AI inspire new ideas and artistic expressions that human creators wouldn't have conceived on their own? So basically, can AI create these things
Mhm.
that humans can't on an artistic level, like a dope script, like a dope,
Mhm.
movie, like a really cool fantasy animation joint? I mean, what's
Well,
the answer you
I think
think?
we're in the I hate to be the, in between, but like this both, right?
Hmm.
The AI is still limited with what it can and can't do, kind of like the Matrix, what you can and can't do. There's rules to it.
Yeah.
So once this thing's set up, the human element's the one that's going to make the left turn and do something that AI wouldn't even think of because you need the parameters for the AI.
Yeah.
So you kind of need both of them together. But yes, I do think AI is going to make some wild stuff that
Mm,
humans wouldn't have thought of for years. So yeah, it's a bit of both. I know it's a cheap answer, but it is a bit of both.
yeah.
Once people are better using AI,
Hmm.
the what they create after it is going to be the thing that changes the game. Whatever the
Right.
prompt is for the AI initially, and what comes out, that's going to be one thing, and what you
Hmm.
do after with it, that turns it into the thing.
Wow. So let me ask you this question here. Like, when was the last time you wrote something in cursive other than your signature?
High school,
High school,
at
right?
least high school.
Right, right. Exactly. I mean, do you even think that you can do that anymore? Like write a
Right,
letter in
cursive?
cursive? Yes.
Whew. No, I don't
Right.
think so.
So right. So do you think that the reliance on these AI tools
Hmm.
will sort of stifle human creativity because it's there?
Absolutely.
It will, really?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think so. Because the thing is, though, we're we're at the beginning part of it, so we still need to know what we're doing to get to this point.
Mhm.
10 years from now, what is that going to be like? Because they're gonna the next group of people getting into this stuff, or 20 years from now, this is all they've known. It's like I was making fun of my niece because she's only been born into MP3s and CD players. Like she never lived with vinyl and all this other stuff before.
Yeah.
And there's a whole great generation of people that only see Netflix. So like the ideas of creativity is going to be limited with what we've had around us. Like if you've only had iPhones around you, you don't know what it's like to pick up a rotary phone or a flip phone or anything like that.
Yeah.
And watching old movies and they can't solve problems because they don't have an iPhone is insane. It gets funny but insane. I mean, I think that
Yeah.
mentally, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like mentally, we're gonna be completely different because of our reliance on AI. It could be like there's a movie. I forgot the name of the movie, but there's a movie with a robot and Wally. That's the name of the movie, Wally.
Mhm.
And that everybody is kind of dumbed down and fat, obese, and just sitting on a scooter because everything's done for them. Everything's just, they rely on a computer to do everything for them. And I fear that that could happen here creatively for not so much the obese thing, but like I'm saying, like creatively, because everything's done for you, your ideas are kind of be like scripted or forced into a box now because of what's available to you.
Right. But what about, like, specifically with art, right?
Mm,
Um, because it's a tool for us to be even more creative, I think, right? And
yeah.
so you have this tool, this AI tool, right, that you can create images with, that you can ask it, specific, questions based on a really well written prompt. And
Hmm.
it generates these sort of like crazy images. And if you sort of like connect these things like, Midjourney, stable diffusion, and all this other stuff, you can create just these wild sort of just these wild creations, right? For
Yeah.
me, I think that it actually enhances the human creativity, right? I mean, if you're like creating, like, there's an
Yeah.
artist who has been creating art with Legos, like nothing but black Legos. I forget his name, right?
Hmm.
AI is never gonna like recreate that, right? Because he's basically
Hmm.
using his hands and physical products like black, dark
Yeah.
Legos to create this beautiful art, right? But I think
Yeah.
if you're a digital artist, or if you use digital technology for the art that you create, AI is just going to enhance what you do, man.
Yeah, yeah, but
Yeah.
I think for us though,
Hmm.
we're like we're first generation of this stuff, right?
Hmm.
So our inspiration is still the real world, and
Yeah.
people who are actual artists and that kind of stuff. Whereas 20 years from now, the inspiration is going to be what's come out from Chat GPT or Midsummer, like the, what I'm saying, like there, our creation is going to be this thing already that's in a box. So I mean, there's a possibility that we could be limited because of our inspirations coming from a one source. So like our inspiration is coming from uh not a pool of everything, but just a single source. So that could be a factor, like long term down the road. But right now, I don't think it matters because we can see the real world, we can see stuff,
Hmm.
actual artists who are still using clay, blocks, and dice, you name it.
Yeah.
So I mean, anything's possible.
Yeah. You know, it's about a month, 2 months ago, there was the I guess the YouTube creators in the DJ
Hmm.
space. They were sponsors for this DJ app
Hmm.
called DJ.studio. And it
Yeah,
basically you saw the joint, right? It integrated with, like,
yeah, I saw.
either like, Spotify, or you can throw tracks into it. And it mixed
Mhm.
tracks, right? It went from
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
from track one, and then it sort of like, faded it, cross-faded everything in. And I'm just like, and you had even some big DJs like promoting this. And I'm like, but who is this for? I mean, because is it
Yeah,
for like the person who's trying to become a DJ? Because if you're trying to become a DJ, that's not the way to do it,
yeah.
right? You need hands-on experience. I mean, if you're trying to become a sculptor, you need hands-on experience. If you're trying to become a
Mhm.
DJ, you need hands-on experience, not an AI mixing tracks for you and not understanding that, oh, you know what? Maybe I need to like drop the bass here, add some effects here.
Mhm.
There's a whole bunch of everything else going through. So
Mhm.
with that said, do you eventually think that AI will overtake human creativity at some point, or is it
Yes.
already here?
Well, I think it's already here now, but,
Hmm.
actually for, like, certain industries, like DJing, this kinda stuff, absolutely, like, their days are numbered
Wait, wait,
where
wait, wait,
there's
wait, 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 wait.
yeah.
Do you think that? Because I did a video about this, but and it was like, DJs will like robots will never replace DJs, not yet,
Not yet, yeah.
right? But in my conclusion was, okay, you have these Zoomers and these like young millennials. They save up their
Mhm,
money, all year round to then go out to these festivals all over the world, right?
mhm.
Paying thousands of dollars to go to these festivals. You think that these Zoomers and these young millennials are going to pay thousands of dollars to go to these festivals to hear a robot DJ? I'm going to say no.
Yes.
Absolutely
There's no
not.
loyalty. The next generation has no loyalty. Like, we're thinking about us, like, where we grew up, whatever,
Mhm.
we care. Like, who's playing it and why matters to us. The next generation, the TikTok generation, they don't care. There's no
Well,
loyalty to it.
I was like reading this article, and it was an article about like remote work and hybrid work and everything
Mhm,
else, and like, it was basically saying that if it wasn't for the Zoomer
mhm,
generation, Gen Y or Gen Z, right? Um, that this whole remote work thing wouldn't even like be a
mhm.
discussion because they actually pushed it. They were like, "Yo, you know what? Yeah, why can't we work remote? We can be creative at home. We can be productive at home, right?"
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I think if I went to, I mean, I haven't been to a club in a really long time, but you want to go see your favorite DJ. I may want to go see Dubfire. I may want to go see,
I
like all these other DJs. I don't want to see like, just a robot. It's almost like a playlist. I mean, I'm not going someplace, not unless I'm going to a lounge. I'm, drinking martinis with my peoples or something like that. And there's music in the
yeah.
background, there's background. But if I'm going to see a
Yeah, but
DJ, I want to go see a DJ.
yeah, but you appreciate this stuff.
Hmm.
There's a whole generation of kids that go to clubs right now. They have no idea who's DJing. It's just a night to go. It's a Friday.
True,
It's a
true.
night to go.
Hmm.
They have no idea what the guy's name is up there. He's just there.
Yeah,
And getting some
that's true.
drinks and talk to a chick. Like that's it. Like
That's
that's the mentality for a lot of the younger people. So I mean, it's wild. I appreciate that I've got out the club stuff. I'm DJing for corporations now, but good God, it's the mentality is different. People don't care what your name is. You're just another person playing music. So that's why I say 100% that the person that creates a robot thing, the novelty will be there initially. That people go want to see if it's any good. If they come up with a good algorithm and the DJs plays music okay,
Mhm.
because like I was at a club a couple days ago, DJ was awful. I mean, it was bad. That's like a Spanish club too, so they're playing like reggaeton, whatever. The DJ was bad. He was awful, and I'm listening to the
That's the
mixes and the
worst, isn't
blends
it?
and why. I'm thinking, why is you gonna play the song right now? But everybody around me is like, this is the greatest night of my life. I'm like, yo, you can't beat this.
Yo, that is so true. Because
Mhm.
I always thought that, the guy DJ Paulie D from like Jersey Shore,
Yeah, yeah.
that may have been the worst DJ I ever heard, right?
Mhm.
But dude, he was like for that like first 3 years,
Dude, he's selling out stadiums in
he
Las
made
Vegas, man.
$16 million. And he
Man, this dude
sucked
was
as a
selling
DJ.
stadiums. He's selling out stadiums
Yes, and
because
he
it wasn't
sucked.
about the
So
music anymore, or the
yeah,
DJing. It was
right.
about the name or
Mhm.
I want to be part of this thing that I
And the
like on
atmosphere,
TV.
the vibe, just being around the whole, yeah, yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. So no, I'm not,
So
I'm
we
not
we were past the generation of this stuff where
right,
people
uh-huh.
people matter.
Yeah,
How you played mattered, what you're playing mattered. Like we're
mhm,
past that. People don't notice it. Like
true.
I'm doing blends and stuff at my parties, whatever. But like you know what's funny? I did an event last night, and I was talking to one of the people that were there, and they said the DJ that was there the year before was awful. And then, the things they complained about was, well, he didn't play the songs in a good order, like didn't feel right. And
Mhm.
like these are things that I care about, but like the people who go out a lot, these things matter to them.
Yeah.
The people who are just, I'm at an office party, I'm gonna go get drunk right now. They don't care. It never occurred to them that the thing was a bad DJ last year and
Mhm.
it's a different guy this year. It hasn't even occurred to them. They're just out there to get drunk and have a good time. And so like we're battling two narratives because DJs matter more and less at the same time.
True.
Like we're dealing with different factors. We have more technology. We used to carry records, the club, like just all the stuff.
It's
The
different.
generations are different right now,
Yeah. Mhm.
and it's wild seeing the change and like little things that don't matter and that matter to us.
Yeah.
That's the part that's wild to me. Like little things do not matter to everybody else, but it's like super important to us.
Two things before we get out of here.
Hmm.
What's really interesting to me when it comes to like AI generated images and things like that is as far as AI has gone or has gotten, right? It still can't figure
Hmm.
out fingers. It's just like, what's up with
That's so
that?
weird to me.
That's the
That's so
weirdest
weird.
thing. You know, I use Kittle sometimes to create AI generated images, and I was like, "Yo, I want to,
Hmm.
create a." I created this crazy prompt. I was like, "I want a DJ busting out of the globe. I want him on three
Hmm.
Technique 1200s, two
Hmm.
mixers. I want like vinyl like floating all around him." And dude,
Hmm.
the guy had like 12 fingers on one hand, like three on the other. I'm like, I don't want the alien DJ. I want the human DJ, right? And I'm just like, and then when you do,
Yeah.
and then I had to do some yoga poses, and it was just like, no, this doesn't look right. The fingers are weird.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
is it? I mean, that when it comes to AI imagery, right? To me, that is one of the most fascinating things to me. It's like,
Hmm.
why can't
It's such a
AI?
random thing.
It's
That's
so
the part that's
random,
crazy. It's
isn't
so
it? Right?
random. Of
Why
all the
can't
things to
they
get
get
wrong in the
it?
picture, hands.
Hands. It gets eyes right, lips right,
Hmm.
nose right, the whole nine fingers.
Faces are perfect. But you know what?
Mm-hmm.
When you look at pictures, right? When people take pictures with their iPhone or cameras, or whatever, the
Mm-hmm.
hands are least important. The face, this area here, is the most important part.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So the AI nails that perfectly. But
Yeah.
hands are like darker in the corner in someone's pocket, like this
Yeah.
weird spots.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a lot of good information for hands and pictures.
Yeah. That's really I don't know, like I can't understand why, programmers can't like really like get that right. I don't know what's going on, but that's really fascinating to me that AI can't get the fingers right. That's really super
Hmm.
fascinating to me. Now, here's the
Hmm.
last question before we get out of here, right?
Hmm.
When do you think we will see a 100% AI generated movie? This is AI created the script, AI created like the scenes, everything else. Like the whole movie was created by AI. So it will
Oof.
probably be an animated film. When do you think
Mhm.
we'll see something like that? How soon? How many years?
Like a couple years, maybe a year or two,
Mm-hmm.
because we're putting in the information right now about how to do it, what it
Right.
looked like, all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
cinematography. Like, so, you give it the right prompts, it can definitely nail it right now.
Mm-hmm.
The question is it going to make any sense? I think that's the real question.
Mm-hmm.
Because so AI is going to pick some weird sentences because you got to do a whole movie is a lot of dialogue
Yeah.
unless it's like an action movie, whatever. So that's the part I think AI is going to fumble the bag with a little bit. But if somebody can get on top of that and like edit this scene out, change
Yeah.
this word here,
Yeah.
it's
Right.
it's not that far away for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, listen, I mean, I'll ask AI for stuff to spit out like website text and things like that for me. A
Mhm.
lot of times people will use what AI spits out, right? When I get AI, when I get text from AI, first of all, I
Mhm.
look at it, maybe I can like, I'm always brushing things up around the edges. I throw it into Grammarly to like make sure everything is proper. AI is not 100% when it comes to text, but I kind of think that it's going to be a lot easier to create an animated, completely
Mhm.
100% AI generated film. or even TV
See,
series, you know?
the thing that you have to do is you gotta dumb it down and make it simple. Because with AI, everyone's gonna do the most insane thing ever,
Mhm.
but, like, to sell the animation to make it feel natural, you need to dumb it down and make it simple. That's the hard part. Make the scene that you got in there just something basic,
Mhm.
and if
Was
you could pull that off, I
that may
think
work.
it's easier to sell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
easier to sell.
Do you think that I said last question, but when we watched We Met in Virtual Reality, wh-
Mhm.
where was AI? Was AI part of that?
I don't know, because it's a program, right? And there's avatars and stuff like that, so
Right. Mhm.
I mean, it probably was some kinda AI in the program, 'cause
Mhm.
but it's kinda old though, that's the other thing too, it's a couple years ago. I don't think there's that available to them yet.
Right. I mean, wow. Imagine AI in virtual reality now with the goggles on. Forget
Mhm.
about it, right?
Yeah, man, we're gonna create some new versions, man, that's what's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
for real, man. It's gonna be crazy. I love this whole AI thing, man. I want it to be ethical. I wanted to help creators. Um, I
Mhm,
want us to still be as creators. I still want us to like continue using our own thought processes and like minds
mhm,
to like think about things creatively and just like have AI to help us like move our creative thoughts along. That's how I sort of see
mhm.
this, this
Yeah, yeah.
relationship. It's a relationship. Well, there you have it. We were just talking about the wizard of AI and then just our sort of thoughts about like AI and creativity. And it's going to be fascinating just to see where AI and creativity is like within the next really couple years. This thing isn't like 5, 10 years away. It's like a
Yeah,
year,
it's
2 years
here.
away. It's here,
It
right?
is here right now, it's
It's
here.
here. Well, I'm going to leave a link in the show description in terms of where you can watch The Wizard of AI. It's a great short film. It's only 20 minutes. Go check it out.
Mhm.
Well, there you have it. Thanks for checking out another episode of the Behind the Groove podcast. I am Basil Barrington.
I am DJ Keo.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, peace.
Alright.